Well, hello folks, Peter back again on behalf of the Matt channel. I've had a bit of a rest the last week or two. I let Matt do all the exposure, so I'm back again. He wants me to do a little bit of an update. I got my mate here, Rusty. He's making sure I got things all sorted. Made himself at home here in a little side by side. Got the new window put in a couple of weeks ago. It's really good. What we're doing at the moment, Phil's on the tiny one, putting another contour bank in. The extra rainfall we've had this year has maybe exposed a little bit of a deficiency perhaps in our frequency of banks or the altitude between banks, and we just put another one in, but it's also exposed a need that we had with our water pipe delivery line from the dam up to our house in the hill. It's about a 40-metre head, and it's over a kilometre long. So we used, 20-something years ago, we used 1.5 inch rural poly, and that was fine for the windmill and the pump that we had then, but now with the new solar system, it's delivering more than we used to. So it's developing about 100 psi, and the pipeline's right underneath us here, and then it comes across the road here to the left, and it follows down just off to the left of the road here all the way down to the dam. Now in rainfall events it often gets exposed, or you want to build the road up and you can't do it for fear of knocking out your pipeline. So we're going to upgrade it and go direct route straight from the dam up to the top of the hill across the middle of the paddock, and we're going to do it with the D11. Weld the attachment on the back of the middle shank and probably put it down about 1 metre. It's going to be 50mm blue stripe metric, which will give us an inside diameter of about 45 to 46 millimetres compared to the 35 or 36, maybe 38 mil is it for 1.5 inch rural. Metric measures on the outside diameter and rural measures on the inside, so it can get a bit confusing. Anyway, we're going to increase our diameter size internally by about 10 mils, we think, and that should take, instead of running pressure at the pump of 100 psi, should bring it back to about 80. And the technical specs of the metric are much greater as far as pressure. So that's the plan there. Phil's just doing this new bank, and it cuts right across the road and the old pipeline, and so you can see here he's brought this one from the left into the waterway that was, which was very narrow, and was struggling to carry the water, and then he's building another one from the right hand side back around this way too, and he's widened the whole waterway, and so we're hoping that'll help a lot with the erosion. You can see this pipe, we've just temporarily, when it was exposed, we just temporarily put a fitting in just so we can still get water, and as soon as we get this new pipe load, we'll deactivate that one and get into the new one. My boys have a bit of fun with me. I probably don't help my own cause either. Bought a bit of fuel down in, it was about lunchtime, and I thought, oh, I'll pick him up for lunch. So I went looking for him. It's only 1,400 acre block here. I went around the hill, 1.5 times, couldn't find a D11. Anyway, he saw me wandering around, must have thought it was really funny. Didn't bother to ring me. I had to ring him to say, where are you? Anyway, if you can believe it, you can hide a D11. There he is. And then my other son, the younger one, Mummy's favourite, he asked a question there earlier, Dad, would you mind just getting a bit of footage of the dozer and whatever? But it was technically a question, but it wasn't really, saying, if you don't do this, well, I don't know what the implied comment was. But anyway, I found him. I might ask him what the plan is. It looks like we've had a bit of soil erosion here and just levelling out a bit. So we'll see what he suggests. Getting about 30-degree days now, but when you're dozing and pushing in the grass, it's very easy to block up the radiator, but the air intakes or the grills on the side, they block up. So it tends to overheat much more readily than working just bare soil. Anyway, that's part of the deal. Got to blow it out every now and then and give her a bit of a puff every hour or so, let it cool down. What are you doing to me?
Sending you on the merry-go-round.
Well, you knew I was on the merry-go-round and you thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought, now, things are getting a bit average if you can't find a D11 on the property.
Yeah, well, I'm getting old.
I thought, will I call you or will I not? I thought, oh, he'll call me if he's lost.
Just because I started farming on this block doesn't mean I know every... Well, I should, shouldn't I? Anyway, tell us what you're doing. What's the go here?
Oh, well, we got a bit of a erosion on the edge of the waterway, and it sort of started where we'd been spraying the edge, and it grassed up over there, but didn't it was just bare dirt there, and then that started it. So
the grass forced the water onto the bare ground and it cut out, eh?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make that not the low spot now, and yeah, hopefully establish the waterway a bit better.
Righto. Now, we're both covered now. So what do we what's the plan after this? You finish that bank up there, where the fuel tank is, where you started.
Yeah.
You're not going all the way through, aren't you?
No, just sort of thought I'd do that bit, just because that's where the tram lines gather the water and run them down the headland. And then yeah, we got more banks to do on the other side of the property, and extend a few and make a few new ones, and then I think we'll end up going down to block where Brad is.
See that Matt, when he sprayed this block, he didn't do a very good job, did he? Look at all the ruts.
It should be a bit lighter than that.
Anyway, we've got some native animals hopping away over there. Probably too far away to see. I think I need my bumper bar back on here, mate. This is pretty rough on my little rocket.
The good thing is it's quite brittle now, the stall. Need window winders.
Now you can see up there, I've got in the old Chamberlain the other day for 4480, and I went up and down there just to get rid of the canola stalk, and the tram tracks were rough. So the plan is to run the ripper up there and a vehicle in front on a trailer and roll the pipe up over the top of the dozer and down the tube down the back, and we probably put it down a metre, I reckon, just so we don't ever foul it up again. This is the new pump that we've put on. I think it's working at the moment. So there it is there, it's running at, it's nearly ready to shut off. I've got that so that it shuts off at 108, which it very nearly is. It usually runs at about 100, and the static pressure when it's not pumping or the line pressure is about 60. So of course the more water you push through it, the higher head pressure or pressure you need to force it up and out the other end. So this is 50mm pipe here. It only goes for a few feet and then back into the old line. And this is the body of water that we've now got, which is quite unique for us because it's the first time we've ever had clean water in a dam. We've always had muddy water, but I'm not sure particularly why we've got such clean water. I'm not sure whether it's it's a little bit, maybe an animal's been in here this morning, but it's just so clear. It's so hard to tell the difference between it and rainwater when you put them in a glass. And because we've got such good quality water now, there's a good, and it's expanded quite a bit. We think we've got good security of supply now, so it's worth upgrading the system. And when we first built this, I asked the local fish farming guy in a local town nearby what we could. I didn't want European carp in here, and I wanted the water clean. So we started with yabbies, and then 100 catfish, 100mm long catfish, and then later on we put silver perch in 6 months later, and then apparently, well, he reckons Murray cod after that, after about 12 months. But not sure about the Murray cod, not sure whether we got the snags required to get them breeding. If we were to get them to breed, we'd have to put obstacles and trees and all that sort of thing in the side of the dam, and I think we quite like the idea of a clean dam. So anyway, well, that's a rough update. Well folks, good afternoon. It's Christmas Eve and it's a lovely time for reflection. Just here on my own, I can come over to the shed, potter about. Don't have to worry about the phone ringing or Dad, go and do this, go and do that. So I quite enjoy this. You'll probably hear another little shower of blessing on the roof. It was supposed to be supposed to clear up, but I think we've already had 20mm and it still looks like it's set in. So we were planning to lay a bit of pipe with tiny one there, and the plan was to modify the ripper assembly to be able to lay this pipe. This is it here. So when it's normally hooked up to your ripper, the pipe slides in here and does a big arc around there and then comes out there underground. But we have to modify this one to fit the D11 because we want to put the pipe down about 1 metre if we can, so that we don't have to worry about digging it up by accident or anything like that. And if it does leak down that deep, well, you probably won't know about it for a while anyway. So anyway, we've made up some tags, so we'll weld these straight onto the back of the ripper tine. Just got to get the height right, and then because this is only about 800mm deep, I plan on just extending this out here a bit so that we can keep this part above the ground, so the dirt doesn't go in, or the wet dirt doesn't go in and actually end up fouling up the pipe and grabbing it and doing all sorts of nasty things. So that's the plan. So that's a diagram of the ripper, the boot. We attach it, we weld these two lugs on here, and then this assembly comes out and goes back like this way, in the direction that this is there now. And yeah, so someone was saying the other day, was it a successful year? And I said, well, define success. And didn't really know what to make of that. And I said, well, have you lost any loved ones this year? Has anyone had a serious injury? Success is different things to different people, but for us, we've been able to pay our bills. I guess if you looked at it purely financially, it might be slightly under the cost of production, but we are all very thankful for the year that we've had. We've had a normal rainfall's about 600 mils or 24 inches a year. I haven't added up the numbers exactly accurately, but I think for the home block it's about 850 mil that we've had for this year, and the development block would have been closer to 1,000 mil. So it's significantly above average, but often the way it falls determines how much you can get done. And we had, I think it was 8 inches or 200 mil October, September, October, somewhere in the 4 weeks around that period, and that just did a lot of damage to the crops. They just couldn't handle that much water. But many people had areas that did really well, and many people suffered 70% losses that I know of, that I've been talking to. Just grateful to still be here, to be able to enjoy working with family and friends, to be able to pay all the bills, have our partners in business succeed, we hope, and ready to go around another year. Over and out for the Map Channel.